Over the past few years, we've worked with Polaris and Chris Burandt on multiple ride giveaways. Typically, it's one rider given the ride of their life with one-on-one instruction from Chris Burandt. But every season has been just one rider. And so we had the RMK King Challenge, where a group of 12 would be selected to ride brand new 2014 Pro RMKs in the mountains of Colorado with Chris Burandt. With all 12 winners on site and extremely excited to be here, we are expecting 2 days of absolute epic riding, and probably our fair share of getting stuck. With this number of riders, we utilized all of Chris's fleet of 2014s and his convoy of trucks and trailers to get us to the trailhead. Excitement was at an all-time high, the riders were amped, and the snow was falling. Altitude at the trailhead was 9,000 feet, and where we'd be riding both days was between 11.5 and 11.8. These winners would be going home very tired.
Well, the goal was to bring every snowmobile I have, and hopefully I have enough, and it's going to be a chaotic, fun day.
For both days, we'd be splitting up the groups to make riding more manageable. 6 of the more advanced riders would be with Chris on day 1, while the other 6 would ride with Chris's right-hand man, Sayan Skinner. Then, vice versa for day 2.
The 2 big things today, fun and safety, okay? Those 2 things in a day make for an awesome day. The folks that are riding with Sayan today, you guys, I want you to really focus on working on the fundamentals of mountain riding and getting used to the snowmobiles. That's what today is for, okay? The guys who are riding with me, you're screwed. Okay? No, just kidding. But I do get you for one day. We're gonna cover a lot of stuff today. We can't wave our magic wand and make you better riders. We can give you and teach you the fundamentals and what you need to know. It's going to be your job from here on out to practice the technique, and of course we'll have you doing it on a Pro RMK in the future, hopefully.
After a quick 6-mile trail ride up to the ride destination, I could tell that the winners were anxious but also a little cautious to ride. Chris was able to give real, solid direction to these people and show them where they were doing their riding wrong. Most of them were trying to muscle the sled around and use their upper body strength to put the snowmobile where they wanted it, or riding without the wrong foot forwards and not using their total body leverage to push the sled where they needed it.
You're going to go down in my trench, you're going to be forward, you're going to stop with your left ski down in the trench, okay? And then you're going to do the plant, following the trench, looking ahead, foot back, up you go. I tried it! This guy's amazing.
The powder was truly deep, and everyone was having a great time. But we all had some issues getting stuck. We were enjoying every second of the ride, and all of the moments Chris would take to show us why he is so well known. This guy can shred the powder and seems to never get stuck. It seemed like every time I turned around, he was jumping off something, throwing down hopovers, or carving a side hill line that left us all wondering, how could he do that and make that sled stick, turn, and climb? At 12,000 feet, it doesn't take very long for your body to become extremely tired, and with 40% less oxygen, we headed for a treed out section where we could sit down, have some food and water, and talk about how the 2014 Pro RMKs were handling. We're out here on the snow with Chris Burandt, brand new 2014 Polarises. What's the #1 thing that stands out to you on these sleds when you're out in the mountains, out in the trees, out in the deep powder? What's in your head going, wow, on these sleds?
The ratio of power to weight to be able to handle this machine. I mean, it's just great. It's just a good package. It's not throwing me around unless I'm letting it, but it's very nimble. I can take it where I want, point it where I want, as long as I'm looking, it's going.
You were talking about how the sled gets up on top of the snow better than your M8 does, your 11 M8. And do you notice, I mean, it's in the design of the snowmobile, but part of that design is that it's over 40 pounds lighter than what you're currently riding. Is that noticeable more than just it popping up on top of the snow? Are you feeling it in your arms and your body? I mean, we're riding in some pretty extreme conditions, but
I'm overriding it for sure. It's way quicker to react. So everything I do, so I'm not sure if it's the weight that I'm feeling, or just the body type, but I'm certainly overriding it. The cool thing is I could ride this better on my M8 because I know how to ride it, but the potential for this is huge because of how quick it is. So once I get onto this, you know, I'm sold that, yeah, you know, it'll take me to new level for sure.
I'm a big believer in reliability, and so I held off on the 13 as far as purchasing it. And I've always ridden chain cases, and riding the quick drive today, I'm actually sold. I mean, it's an unbelievable system, and I'm glad you put me on it.
while day 1 energy had seemed high, day 2 was even better. The sun was out, the storm had broke, and the riders were pumped and ready to go, especially the less experienced ones who for day 2 would get to ride with Chris.
I'm a little worn out, but still the opportunity to ride with a rider the caliber of Chris Burandt it's exciting.
This is like a dream come true for me, really, and with the blue sky today, I'm just, how does it get any better than that?
With excellent light came very easy to read sightlines, and for the less experienced riders made for the perfect day. In fact, with the temperature hovering just below the freezing point and the sky without a cloud, it was one of the best ride days I've had in the mountains in a long time.
So we're gonna go wrong foot forward, and your line where you're going to be looking is just right up there. There you go. That was badass. That was so perfect.
Chris took the opportunity to really push a few of the riders of this group and put them out of their comfort zones in a make or potentially break side hill situation. It was cool to see just how much people learn when forced into a difficult spot.
You were so close, like right here, when you came around, your ski was just a little too high and it started you getting messed up. Exactly.
With all of the teaching and excitement that was going on, we wanted to make sure that for day 2 we still took the time to watch Chris, because he's impressive to watch ride, and impress us he did. One of the most famous moves that Chris does, and what I believe is his signature, is the hop over, where he shreds up the face, hits a cornice or lip or wall, and actually lets go of the sled with both feet for a moment when it's rotating from one side to the other. It's very cool to see in a photo, even better on film, but in real life, you get the total picture. It's incredibly cool to watch, but you understand just how hard it is to pull off. Similar to day 1, we took the opportunity to talk to the contest winners. And on day 2, instead of doing a group session, we took each person aside individually and asked them what they thought of the 2014 Pro RMK. Keep in mind, these are not all Polaris riders.
The 2014 RMK, it was really easy to turn over. I've always tried counter steering on the sled that I ride, and I felt like it was just easier to pull over and get on its side and really control.
I'm loving how the sled reacts in technical terrain, and then that's it. You can slow your pace down, then get the great side hills, and the sled works awesome for sure.
It's almost a different style, I would say, and a more effortless style. On my Skidoo, I'm always thinking about it and kind of making minor adjustments here and there. On this RMK, it tracks, and you know that it's gonna stay exactly where you put it.
I ride with guys that run Skidoo, I ride with guys that run Arctic Cat. As I've ridden theirs, you know, they just sort of want to stay planted. With the Pro RMK, it was just easy. You just look, a little bit of counter steer, a little bit of weight exchange, and then all of a sudden it just sort of goes where you want it to go.
I thought I was a snowmobiler all these years. Turns out this is my first day.
Did it!
How was it today?
That was awesome.
Good improvement.
That was awesome. Awesome. Got to use the stuff we learned yesterday. Thank you.
Good job.
To say that this contest was a success would be a total understatement. The 12 winners got to tear it up at high altitude with Chris Burandt for 2 straight days and ride on brand new 2014 Pro RMKs. How can it possibly get better than this?